What's up, everybody? I hope all is well. I pray all is well. Welcome to the temple. Today, I want to talk about the art of staying calm under pressure. In moments of chaos, it happens in like sparring or arguments or any stressful moment that can happen in your life. Calmness isn't something that you have or you don't. It's a skill that you can develop. Pressure make everything speed up, but learning how to stay centered changes everything. Okay? Understand that pressure also exposes the real you. Pressure puts you in the spotlight on your habits, reactions, and your emotions. It don't create flaws, so don't think about it like that, all right? It reveals something that you already got inside, you know? And fighting pressure shows through flinching, rushing, and overreacting sometimes and letting your emotions take over. It can lead you to be exposed, you know? And that's very critical. You get what I'm saying? You never want to overexpose yourself because your opponent can take advantage of that. So be careful, and learn how to be still, which also leads me to my next point. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Calmness isn't about emotionless either, you know? A lot of times when you see somebody being calm, you may think that they not really present. It may seem like they not present at times because it's so chaotic. And it's like, how can they be so still? How can they be so calm? You know? It's about controlling your pace. That's why. Understanding that pressure, is how can I explain it? Under pressure, most people rush and make mistakes, right? Staying calm, it lets you see more and it make you think clearer too. And it also help you conserve your energy. If I say that right, conserve, right? Conserve. Okay. I'm learning. Yeah, stay with me, man. I'm trying to, you feel me? I ain't trying to make it too polished for y'all, but I'm trying to keep it real. You get what I'm saying? But that's why a lot of fighters they may appear like they relax because it seems like it's in slow motion for them. You get what I'm saying? It looked like everything is in slow motion because when you actually take your time, be calm, and you also understand your capabilities, a lot of things open up for you. It's actually a pretty beautiful moment. You may hear somebody call it the flow state or in your element, you know, which is a beautiful statement. I love the flow state. I love that, man. When you just say it and you think about it and then you train and stuff like that, it really helps you get into your element. You get what I'm saying? So think about it like that. But it's also something else that's very important that a lot of people they miss out on this, you know, controlling your breathing, man. Controlling your breathing. Breathing control the nervous system, man. And it control your mind. Steady breath is slow the heart rate, believe it or not. It clear your head in a way, when you just like really though. I think I was talking about this in my last video. Like really, really don't just breathe just to breathe, Really focus on your breath work. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all heard that. I don't know if my mic picked up on that, but I just had to pause and just I had to breathe myself. I'll be having to slow down and breathe when I'm doing these videos sometimes to lock back in because sometimes I get too anxious. I get to talking, yapping and all that. Can't even breathe. You get what I'm saying? So make sure y'all paying attention to that. And it'll also help you respond instead of react. When you breathing, it when your breathing is under control, everything else becomes easier to manage. Just put it like that. When your breathing is under control, it makes everything easier for you to manage, bro. Simple as that. And understand. Um, hmm, how can I say this? Focus. Just focus on one thing at a time. All right. Just focus on one thing at a time. Pressure feel heavy because the mind try to solve everything at once. We so used to trying to find a solution right then and there in the moment, especially when it's very critical or it seems like it's an emergency or you may feel like you're in danger. So you're trying to hurry up and like get it resolved. Maybe because you're afraid, maybe because you're nervous, or maybe because you just don't understand, which is perfectly normal. That's perfectly fine. This is why we're here. This is why we're talking about this because this is the preparation. You know what I'm saying? This is what the training is for. It's not just about fighting. It's not just about you having muscle. You got to learn how to use these capabilities. You got to learn how to use the skills that God blessed you with, man. You know what I'm saying? This is very serious, man. You know, not only can you be a weapon, but you can also, how about this? No, you are a weapon, but you got to learn how to harness that. You got to learn how to control that flame, control that spirit. You know what I'm saying? So just focus on one thing at a time, you know, because in fighting, stuff like focusing on distance and timing, you know, that it, I feel like it brings clarity in a way, you know, like in life, focusing on one problem at a time, it reduces the overwhelmness. If that makes sense. I'm trying to keep everything concise, you know, but I'm trying to like make it easier for other people to understand as well, you know. And also a lot of things, well, this is something that a lot of people have trouble with, myself included, emotional discipline, you know. Emotional discipline equals power. Anger, panic, and frustration feel powerful, but they blind you. You can't always trust your heart because the heart can deceive you. Calmness gives you a choice and it gives you control. A calm fighter sees opening. Calm fighter avoids unnecessary conflict. That's very important. Calmness is a real source of power because it keeps your judgment sharp. Being calm under pressure, like I said, in a way, when you really trust it, I'm not just saying like, oh, you see a car running towards you, just stop and just breathe. Like, no, bro. You know what I'm saying? Move out the way. I'm talking about, how can an example, like somebody trying to argue with you or somebody trying to take it there with you. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you worrying about how you can respond, or instead of you trying to hurry up and react to how they plan it, you feel me? Just take a second to think, you know, especially when you know what you're capable of. You like, bro, all right, I know he ain't finna beat me up. So you already got that out the question. You know he ain't finna beat you up. So now instead of using your strength to actually harm somebody, use your strength to actually control yourself and see what the situation actually is. Because a lot of times, man, it just be people trying to inflict their own insecurities, or they just, you know, they just be having something that's in them and they trying to put it on you, you know, and we got to be careful of that. It's a verse in the scripture. It's a proverb. I believe. I ain't gonna lie. I'm doing the best I can. I'm not that biblical. I don't. All right. I'm not even finna try to say that. I gotta do some more research on the scripture, but it says that a slow or soft answer avoids wrath. It's better for you to walk away with peace always, man, instead of you walking away with anger, or you walking away with that, you know, that darkness inside of you, or that love pinch of hatred. We want to learn how to release ourselves from all that. We want to take all of that away, you know. And that also comes with prayer, you know. Get your prayer life right, man. I'm not, listen, bro. I'm gonna be 100. I don't care what y'all believe in. You get what I'm saying? Y'all know what time it is. Y'all can hear it in my voice. Y'all can hear it when I'm talking. Y'all can hear it in my words. Prayer life helped me out a lot, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100. When I just sit there and I talk to God, you get what I'm saying? Ask for help. Be vulnerable, because in those moments when you do something you know you're not supposed to do and you feel convicted, the only thing that come out of it is guilt and shame, bro. I'd rather feel more confident knowing that I got an almighty presence within me and all around me to help me. Knowing that my relationship with Christ, with Jesus Christ, helps me manage throughout my life. Because I know what it's like. I've been on that other side. I was in a very dark season and I couldn't shake it. You get what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. Like, I'm trying to be vulnerable with y'all right now because I know a lot of people can relate to it, man. I was there, bro. I was there and I was being disobedient. And I didn't want to listen, and I didn't want to submit because those words didn't click right with me. In a way, I felt offended by that. But it's through my life experience I learned what it means to be still, or what it means to actually be calm and be vulnerable at times. Not for exposure, but just be vulnerable for the spirit so he can come in and lead you the right way. Because at the end of the day, I got more of a reason to live, man. And I ain't trying to let nobody trick me on my spot, you know? But staying calm under pressure, it ain't about just eliminating stress, you know? It's about mastering your response to it. Pressure will always exist, and that's the truth. But the way you breathe, think, and move, it separates the average from the great. Every moment of pressure is an opportunity to practice control. I appreciate all the love. I pray all goes well in your life. Thank you.